been less than kind, unimaginative and frustrating, said Hollywood's Bible Variety magazine. So sickening, I almost brought up my breakfast, said the woke Bible The Guardian. Or the intimacy of Instagram, sneered the normally timid New York Times. A nauseating self-serving snooze fest, said another pundit. Well, that was me, actually.
Once a Soho House basic, always a Soho House basic bitch.
Meghan has always had this very, very strange fascination with Soho House, very much this weird obsession with it.
Do you see any of the real Diana in Meghan? Did you?
No.
Really?
No.
Oh.
Sorry. We are uncensored, but oh my God, the idea there's any comparison between Diana, who was the biggest star in the world.
And here we have Andrew, with whom looks like Marcus Anderson. This is in 2001, when Meghan Markle would have allegedly been on third year. Meghan Markle hardly spent any time at Northwestern University. According to people, she got started her yachting days, and she never stopped, really. I don't think any of her boyfriends do about it, but Meghan Markle was known as a hardcore yacht partying person, ready for anything.
It was when all the racism claims turned out to be bull. The mental health claims were bull. All of it was bullshit, designed to damage and attack the royal family, the monarchy, and all of it. And it made me huge.
So Jessica Mulroon introduced her to Marcus Anderson in Toronto.
It makes them newsworthy. So you either then ignore what people are talking about, and debating and having all the silly stuff about the fake pub.
Back in her early days, she was totally reliant on Soho House to pay for her travel, to pay for her accommodation.
Meghan Markle has gone back to live in California, and she's living the life she probably wanted all along.
Yes.
A life of unparalleled luxury and riches that she got by marrying a handsome British prince.
Inspired, as it says, inspired by Soho House. Am I wrong? I thought Soho House was like not doing well, or potentially going under and struggling. Maybe that was just the London branch, but it didn't sound like things were going well. Maybe not across the board. I don't know. But last I heard, things weren't going well for Soho House.
Without Marcus Anderson, I hope to prove to you in this video that Meghan Markle wouldn't have the level of global fame that she enjoys now.
Never complain and never explain was the late Queen's motto for royal PR. For Harry and Meghan, it's more a case of never reign and never abstain, especially when it comes to nauseating self-publicity, which invariably backfires.
He is like a parasite, always lurking in their shadow. No normal family has a constant third wheel, male or female, leeching onto their every move. Marcus is practically glued to them.
Are there any fans of Meghan Markle in tonight? Oh, hang on! There is one lone hand has raised
Subversive.
up here. Actually, that is one more than I expected, I have to be honest.
Harry, who's that standing next to the Queen? Is that a servant? That's what Harry wrote in his book Spare. How stupid is this man that he actually believes it? Or is it that he wanted to believe it?
It happened in seconds. The studio lights, the cameras rolling, and then the screen behind Piers Morgan changed. Viewers thought it was just another segment. But what came next was something no one expected. Not Meghan Markle's fans, not her team.
They will sell anything about their privacy, and yet they'll fight privacy battle after privacy battle. It's total
I don't agree.
And definitely not the people who had worked so hard to bury this part of her past. Because on live television, in the middle of a broadcast that had millions watching, Piers didn't just talk about Meghan, he showed her. Allegedly.
Meghan Markle only becomes prominent for Soho House, guys, after she starts being on Suits and she's introduced to Marcus Anderson. And then she gets more consistent and more prominent work, okay? Because then she could be in the presence of Marcus Anderson.
In photos no one was ever supposed to see again. There was no warning. No teaser, no soft let-in, just a cut to images that, according to those who saw them, instantly blew apart the story Meghan had spent years protecting. They weren't taken during her time as a Duchess. They weren't snapped at royal events. They weren't even from red carpets or charity galas. These were older, colder.
It all started back in 2015 on that fateful weekend when Harry and Prince Charles went to the grand opening of Soho House.
I'm not sure exactly what the outcome will be, but...
Allegedly private photos of Meghan Markle inside Soho House. Not as a visitor, not passing through, but placed, strategically, comfortably, in the inner circle. Photos surrounded by whispers and now reportedly broadcast to the world.
The before you gave up any royal duty, but wanted to have your royal cake and eat it by keeping your title so you could exploit them and make gazillions of dollars in America to the highest bidder. And what do you do for that money? You trash your family endlessly, and you're going to keep doing it, as does your wife, who trashes her own family, most of whom she's disowned.
The internet didn't even have time to catch up. Screenshots were flying, hashtags exploding, and yet the silence from Meghan's side was the loudest thing in the room.
I don't want to be doing another bloody segment on Meghan Markle and Harry, right?
No press release, no legal statement, no denial. For someone known to fight back immediately, the absence of any response sent shockwaves through her own fan base, because these weren't just photos, they were contradictions, pixel by pixel. And every frame.
No, this is what Meghan has been doing. She's a piece of Klingon, you know, like she clings to somebody who can get her there. So Meghan manages to befriend one person of a very popular group, and then that person introduces her to the others. And that because that she's being brought in by somebody they trust, she's welcomed in.
A woman of humble roots who made it through hard work and resilience. But dig even one layer beneath that, and you hit Soho House. Not just a social club, not a hangout spot, but a closed-door world. Invitation only, power protected.
All right, in the end, I was told that 57,000 people complained to the television regulator, Ofcom, in the UK. A world record, I'm proud to say, complained about me for not believing Princess Pinocchio. And eventually my boss had said, can you just apologize to Meghan Markle, or you're going to have to, maybe lose your job. I went, I'll take the job option, thanks, I'll leave. And I walked off into the sunset.
The kind of place even global celebrities get turned away from. Yet somehow Meghan had access, repeatedly, in London, in New York, in Toronto, in Los Angeles.
Harry, to put it politely, I think she is very manipulative. Meghan Markle is someone who's basically got rid of almost her entire family on her side, apart from her mother, her entire family on the father's side, including her father, which is incredibly sad. And now she's wrestled Harry away from his family.
Even Prince Harry, in his memoir Spare, admitted she called it her headquarters. She kept her luggage there. She knew the staff. Moved like she belonged. Access like that doesn't just happen. It's not luck. It's not coincidence. It's power, or someone granting it.
Jeffrey Epstein was also Harvey Weinstein, very prominent. There were members. Meghan Markle was just one of the working girls for Soho House. Call girl, working girl, escort, whatever you want to call it. That's what she was.
And that someone, again and again, is Marcus Anderson. Most people don't know his name, but inside elite circles, Marcus isn't just a socialite. He's a gatekeeper.
It was easier to talk to him because he was a billionaire and you knew that you wanted to go back to LA and that Canada was always going to be a pit stop. From the very beginning, this woman orchestrated leaving the royal family because all she's ever wanted in her life was to be an A-lister in Hollywood. She did not have the talent to become an A-lister in Hollywood. She was relegated to a D-list actress spot on a show called Suits that nobody in America had seen, but apparently, which Prince Harry lets us know.
Global membership director for Soho House, the man who decides who gets in and who never will. And from the moment Meghan entered that world, Marcus was there.
Meghan Markle only becomes prominent for Soho House, guys, after she starts being on Suits and she's introduced to Marcus Anderson. And then she gets more consistent and more prominent work, okay? Because then she could be in the presence of Marcus Anderson.
Not just once, not just casually, but city after city, event after event.
Just know her again, like we're going to like her. Okay, show me the friends who know you, who have stuck by you. Who's still in your life? There's not even a family member. They're all gone. Everyone who knew you either fled from you or they were dumped by you because they weren't famous. They weren't Tyler Perry. They weren't Oprah, Gayle, all these people who she didn't know at all who she had at her wedding. George Clooney, I'm sure they were really tight, right? Like the people who did know her jumped ship.
From Los Angeles to London, Marcus followed. And when Meghan needed a door open, he reportedly had the key.
In a Deal or No Deal girl, she was calling herself a model and she was starring in a show Suits. She used to charge almost $30,000 per trip, which is why she was making good money. It wasn't on Suits, it was on her yachting trip.
He's been called her handler, her sponsor, her silent architect, allegedly. Some say he even introduced her to Harry.
And I like to think that Meghan would like that. Meghan likes to be number one. Meghan does not simply degrade Prince Harry. She degrades his entire family, his entire legacy. And this is a different kind of embarrassment. She has mocked his heritage, his traditions, his grandmother, the former Queen of England, and it seems like she did so happily.
Others say he was the one moving pieces in the background, lining up meetings, ensuring Meghan always had a seat at the most exclusive tables. The jawlines in the photos match.
Who is Marcus Anderson, and why is he always around Meghan and Harry? Well, if we compare jawlines, the jawline to the man in the previous picture and the jawline here of Marcus Anderson matches up pretty well. And I have to say, I don't know why these two are not a couple, but they really do make a really gorgeous couple.
He knows, and everybody all around the world, that you would want to know. The very rich, the very connected. Anybody who is anybody would be in Marcus Anderson's little black book.
So do the locations, the timelines, the access. What doesn't match is the public version of her story. Because if you believe what Meghan's told the world, she was a struggling actress, living modestly, hustling auditions, building the TIG, and donating to charities. But those who saw the photos aired by Piers described something else entirely.
Meghan is a trained actress. What she does is that she studies people. She's not a good actress, but she is a trained one, right? She's been doing it her entire life. And there is no doubt that she studied Princess Diana. She studied her mannerisms towards Harry when he was a boy and the way that she grabs her face. And this is the psychopathic elements of what she does, putting a pregnancy text next to Princess Diana's hair, saying that she put her hands on the grave to have a conversation with her, bursting into tears. And she has convinced, there's a thing called in psychology called the Freudian transfer. She has convinced Harry that she is Princess Diana.
Meghan at luxury events, Meghan at private gatherings with older, powerful men, Meghan on yachts, Meghan in the kind of rooms that actresses on cable shows usually never enter, unless someone with serious pull brings them in.
Marcus started off at Soho House, London as a waiter, and he was a global membership director when he first met Meghan.
My 4-year-old, when we play imaginary play, she gets all the jams out the cupboard and lays them all on the table, and I get the fake money and pretend to buy them. Meghan is doing imaginary play, but she's doing it with Mark.
And this is where the story darkens, because the rumors have existed for years that Meghan was part of a select group of attractive young women allegedly positioned inside the Soho House network, not for charity, not for art, but to be seen, to meet, to be introduced to the kinds of men who don't use dating apps, they use clubs and connections and circles that the public never touches.
Now, his job was to go to a new city wherever they were opening up a new Soho House, and his job was to find the best and the brightest of that city to invite to the founding members party. And they didn't just invite anybody. To be a founding member, you really had to be somebody in the social scene of the city where they were opening.
Authors like Kirby Summers have gone on record. Others have whispered for years. And now, allegedly, Piers Morgan showed the photo.
Not poor. They just wanted to land a rich man and make easy money. And the worst part of it all is that Meghan Markle was already with Trevor Engelson there. She was already living with him. There was no need for her to be hustling this way.
And that silence, that stunning lack of legal pushback.
Marcus Anderson is very unique in the Meghan Markle Disposable Friends series because Marcus is indispensable. Without Marcus Anderson, I hope to prove to you in this video that Meghan Markle wouldn't have the level of global fame that she enjoys now, or infamy, depends how you look at it.
It might not be accidental, because this time fighting back might have meant admitting those photos were real. And if they were, everything changes.
And we also have this. This is Karina Shuliak, Epstein's girlfriend.
And the only times she traveled and went anywhere was with him. And guess who's on the other end with her Panama hat?
See, Meghan has always played her image like a violin.
The failure to fully investigate and prosecute Epstein's network means that powerful individuals who may have abused children and been blackmailed remain in positions of authority. There's still too much, in my opinion, there's still too much trust in government institutions.
Every detail is rehearsed, every moment curated. She sued tabloids for printing letters, filed complaints over tweets, even got Piers fired after criticizing her Oprah interview.
The Favor. For many years, this almost A-list actress, and that's Meghan Markle, precariously balance herself between dating and yachting. She thought of it as dating upward, and there are perks such as lifestyle and glamour and gifts of dating upward rather than yachting in the traditional sense.
This is someone who reacts immediately when her narrative is challenged. But this time, nothing. Just dead air. And in that silence, the question grows louder. Why didn't she deny it? Because when someone who's always defended their image suddenly stops, the world assumes one thing: they can't.
Epstein was obviously getting leverage on all these different people for whatever his purpose was.
What do you think? That's what the question was. Like, what could he possibly... A lot of them were scientists. He went with a lot of, like, celebrities. There was heads of state.
I don't think he needed money.
Right. Well, what was he...
I don't know. I mean, maybe he just... Who knows? Maybe he got off on sort of being the king.
And if they can't deny it, maybe they hope ignoring it will make it disappear. But it won't, especially not when the timeline keeps shifting. In interviews, Meghan claimed Soho House was just a fun stop, a London hangout, nothing serious.
So I was with one of her old friends last week, and she told me, allegedly, that Victoria Jackson hates her husband. And so that's, to me, that Meghan would find this mentor that doesn't respect her husband or normalizes disliking your husband, says so much. Again, I'm on divorce watch. I'm so sorry.
But in Spare, Harry contradicts that.
She's a bully, and her acting career, or whatever she's trying to do, is going to fail, just like everything else she touched fails.
I thought, didn't you think the Dodgers video clip from their
Oh
living room,
my God,
with her waltzing around?
Yes,
yes,
like a hyena.
Literally like a hyena with a spear in its back, wasn't it?
Says it was her base, her favorite place, her comfort zone. So which version is true? The casual drop-in?
I think she was scared of coming back to this country, and quite rightly, because the people of this country don't like the fact that she's stolen our prince. And she's literally brainwashed him, blinkered him, and tied him down to his California mansion.
Or the behind-the-curtain command center. And then, there's the money. How did a cable actress afford private jets, designer fashion, elite parties, and luxury holidays before she married a prince? Her income from Suits doesn't explain it. And the explanations she has given, they keep changing. 3 different versions of the same financial story.
Moved by Meghan Markle's story, simply because he liked her story. I mean, that's really how they became friends. You know, whatever she told him about how she wanted to become big.
None of them lining up. You don't access multiple Soho House properties on an actress's paycheck.
If she's, as you say, a victim of a miscarriage of justice, then there would be no obvious reason why she would not want to cooperate with the authorities. I mean, particularly the chance to address Congress, for example, where the whole world would watch. And if she is as innocent as you say, then isn't that the perfect opportunity? I mean, why wouldn't she? I mean, if she doesn't do that, and she doesn't cooperate with the Attorney General's office, people are going to assume guilt.
You don't fly private on a blogger's budget. You don't get introduced to billionaires unless someone wants you there.
Okay, she went from the royal family to doing arts and crafts. That is a fall from grace. I've never seen someone fumble the bag harder than Meghan Markle, okay, which tells me she is her own worst enemy, she's her own saboteur, and we see it in the show. There is absolutely no star.
Unless you're part of a plan, or worse, a system, because high-level access is never free. Someone pays, someone gains, someone stays quiet. And the most shocking part of all?
Not forget the Oprah performance.
Oh, yeah. What? They did what? These people?
What?
There's a conversation with you,
with Harry,
about how dark your baby is going to be?
Potentially, and what that would mean or look like.
Ooh, how dark your baby was going to be?
It was ridiculous.
These aren't wild conspiracy theories. They're built on documented movements, known affiliations, and allegedly photos that no longer exist online. Photos that, if sources are right, were shown live for a few seconds.
Now, it always worried me that all of the biographers that have done books on Meghan Markle, and also a lot of people that have done interviews and magazine articles, sort of imply that just because she was in Suits, that was how she met Marcus Anderson in Canada.
Enough to send the entire castle of narrative shaking. Meghan always claimed she stumbled into royalty.
time that we really spot Marcus on the radar is he's sitting next to Meghan at the opening ceremony of the Invictus Games. And it's amazing when you look at that footage back because you realise just how far Prince Harry has dropped.
That she didn't even Google Harry before meeting him. But insiders say she had a vision board with his photo, that she studied Princess Diana's mannerisms, that she rehearsed the role before it ever began, allegedly.
Or the monarchy, given that two of our most famous young royals have waged a 3-year war.
And now, as the carefully crafted version of her story begins to collapse, what's rising in its place is harder, colder, and maybe more real. The fairy tale only works when the curtain stays shut.
He is the perfect person to be a highly paid consultant now for Soho House because he never puts a foot wrong. He never says anything about anyone.
But now that curtain is moving. The stage lights are flickering. The truth is starting to speak, and it's not coming from Meghan.
As you can imagine. And Meghan really can't seem to understand that, with the likes of Spotify, Netflix and the rest now dumping her. Where do you go from here? What do you become after this? You get the picture. Now, this is the reason why many people understand the marriage, shall we say, has hit one of those rocky patches.
It's coming from silence, from contradictions.
But let's go a little bit deeper into Marcus Anderson and Meghan Markle. They know each other from Soho House. So this little bit of information I found here tells us that Omid Scobie and Meghan Markle have known each other for a long time from yachting, and that Omid Scobie dated Marcus Anderson at the time that Marcus and Meghan were
from the images that, according to some, were never supposed to resurface.
More importantly, how her curated public image should be. Harry really apparently just wants time alone, doesn't want to be filmed, doesn't want to be put on social media, but has no choice. That very much bewildering picture of them both lamely holding hands looking out at the pumpkin farm really means nothing. It doesn't really go anywhere, does it? And so for Harry himself, he's now, in many people are suggesting,
the question isn't whether the photos matter, it's what they represent. And if even one frame is real, what else was never meant to be found? Because this
gentleman right here, that's Nick Jones, the original founder of Soho House. Guess where he's going there? He's arriving at Meghan Markle and Harry's wedding as guest of honor. Oh yeah, Soho was present.
This wasn't about fame, it was about control. It was about building a future.
It was planned from the beginning. She denied being interested in the royal family, which she totally was. I know someone who knows the ex-husband who said she had a vision board with Prince Harry on it.
And now, piece by piece, photograph by photograph, the past is stepping into the light. And this time, it's not going back into the dark.